My name is Jeff with JCM Photography. Welcome to this week's video where the topic is going to be the top 5 questions that any couple needs to ask a prospective wedding photographer. You need to make sure you ask these questions prior to booking a wedding photographer. First question is going to involve you actually seeing the photographer's work and some reflection and questions of yourself. The first question that you should ask any prospective wedding photographer is, do you have a wedding portfolio? The next thing that you need to consider, you and your significant other, can I visualize myself in these photos and is that the style that I like? I personally feel that customer service, the value for the money, the quality of the work, then every couple should choose me as their wedding photographer. However, it boils down to more than that, and a lot of it is the style that I shoot is not what every bride wants. So you have to be able to visualize yourself in the style that that photographer takes. The second question you need to ask any wedding photographer is, do they include an engagement session? Engagement sessions can be very important because they give you some great images. They allow you to work with the photographer. They allow you to get to know how they work, how their guidance is in posing, and just allows you to be more comfortable with them behind the camera, because up until that point, the only way you know your photographer is face to face, talking to them, getting to know them, and in a business type of atmosphere. Doing an engagement session gets you used to seeing that photographer behind the camera, so you can get used to how they work and be more comfortable with them as a photographer. The third question that you should ask any prospective wedding photographer is, do they have backup equipment? You need to have them be specific as far as what they have. Even if you don't understand what they're talking about, you can always go to someone who does know about photography and they can explain to you that yes, this is sufficient backup equipment. But this is very important because it's one and done. There's no duo. The fourth question that you should ask any prospective wedding photographer is either one or two wedding photographers. This is very important as well, because two wedding photographers makes it almost impossible that any special moment of your day will be missed. It also will give you another perspective that your images are being taken from. If I'm photographing your wedding and a battery goes down in mine, then you have a backup photographer that's actually taking photos, and the same for them. If they have a battery to go down at a critical time, then I will be shooting. But a pro photographer will always make sure that they are checking their batteries. They understand this critical time. They'll be checking for disk space to make sure they don't need to change their disk out. I shoot with a battery grip, so actually I can go through an entire wedding with both batteries and not run out of battery space. I may have to switch over, but I won't run out of batteries and cause me to have to change the batteries. The fifth question that you need to ask any prospective wedding photographer is, when will I get my images? Because there are vast disparities within the industry as far as what photographers feel is a quick turnaround time. It can vary from 2 weeks to 2 months, and you need to know specifically. For instance, I spell out in my contract exactly the day you will have your proofs and exactly the day, no later than, that you will have your finished product once I receive your selections. This is key because, like I said, there are great disparities between one photographer considers as a fast turnaround and what another photographer considers as fast turnaround. I want to thank you for tuning in today, and watching my video. I'd like to ask you to subscribe. If you know any couples that are planning on getting married, please direct them to this video. It may save them some time in the future and a little bit of headache. My next 2 videos will be geared towards wedding photographers. It's going to be what's in my kit. To be divided up into 2 videos, camera and lenses, and then the next video will be on lighting. I want to thank you again for tuning in. During the video, I've had underneath ways to connect with me on social media and my website, and feel free to reach out via email if you have any questions. Again, thank you and have a blessed night.